Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you something you're probably already aware of. So, while I was doing my typical complaining about the state of my faction, as we tend to do, I said two things, and then realized that those two things could combine in one army. First, I was complaining about knights, because now my faction, Tyrannage, no longer has a way to kill a big knight in one activation of a Tyran effects getting lucky. Like, extremely lucky, of course. But now it's impossible, okay? So I was complaining about that. And then also thinking about how people are going to now be prepared to try to kill big knights. Which means they'll be prepared to kill the best things in our codex. Our monsters. Um, Infantry doesn't exist. But on that note about the infantry just being barely passable by most standards, then thought about the Forge Fiends and how they're going to easily kill our best infantry. Probably Zoes and the new Raveners. Yeah, thought about that. And then realized, CSM can take both. And even got buffed. So, while I was in here lost in the sauce, creating lists just to see what points fit where. Not saying that it's going to happen, but the fact that it could be means that you should kind of think about it, right? Creating a list, seeing where points shake out. Then it dawned on me, I should probably see what it's doing. So I go over to Stat Check. Go check out Stat Check. Go check out their YouTube, all the things. This isn't my data. Go check them out. And I pull up CSM. Oh, they're at 50. That's fine. That's average. Nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, Renegade Raiders. All right, look at that overrep and look at those 4-0 event start rates. 29% of the players started 29% of the players that took Renegade Raiders started 4-0. Cool. And Packbound Zealots, 18% of them did that. Cool. That was a little bit concerning. I'm not too worried about Renegade Raiders because it doesn't really affect the things that I'm too terribly concerned about that much. It can, but I think I'm more scared about Packbound Zealots. That was where my next complaint went. Because there's some things possible in Packbound that we will get to. So naturally, I went, okay, that's kind of the overall up until the 24th. What just happened the past weekend? Surely nobody's playing them, right? Then I see what I'm terrified of. Packbound Zealots has a 73% win rate this past weekend. 2 4-0s, or X and O, sorry, or X and 1. 1 tournament win. 5 players won 19 games out of 26. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's see what happened. Over here, first up, got Richard. Didn't take Abaddon. Didn't experiment with new Vastor, but instead experimented with the new Lord Disco on Hellstalker with going Slanesh and the enhancement giving a 5-up, feel no pain, and, a little bit something extra. Yeah, just the only character apparently needed. Cultish Mob, Predator Destructors, of course Nurgle, we'll talk about that. Vindicators, of course Nurgle. Hellbrute Undivided, yep, sounds about right, par for the course. Obliterators went Zinch, that was interesting. Possessed, Beast of Nurgle, Sets of Nurglings. Alright, and let's see what Jesus did over here. Yep, Abaddon and Cypher, yep, kind of figured. Cultish Mob, Chaos Bikers going Nurgle, Slanesh, and Zinch. Interesting. Destructors going Nurgle, Vindicators Nurgle, Chaos Undivided, Chosen, Hellbrute Slanesh, Traitor Guardsman Nurgle, Beast of Nurgle, Nurglings, there's Rodigus. So, as you can see, there's variety. And when there's variety and still getting good results, that means that shit is scary. And mind you, neither one of them are using new Chaos Knights. So I'm just doing a little bit of fear mongering. Fuck it, let's call it what it is. This one, I am utterly terrified for the things that are possible as a Tyrannage player. Now, mind you, other people might have absolutely no issue with this shit, and I'm not going to say that it's OP. It's just that you can take good shit from over there, and your new buffed good shit, and some of the regular good shit, and put it all together, I think that gives you a pretty fucking good list. Now, going to Pack Mountain Zealots. Why am I more worried about this one than Renegade Raiders? Renegade Raiders gives you assault, possibly some bonus little shits, but more so, I'm worried about Pack Mountain Zealots because you can get lethal sustain, crits on fives, or rerolling hit rolls of one, and well, we'll talk about all the shenanigans. Let's also talk about Intoxicating Elixir while we're right here. 15 points, put it on the Slanesh model. Alright, if anybody's unaware, when you put blank chaos units in here, you get to choose a mark, uh, or just in CSM, you get to choose a mark, and then you get whatever corresponding things. We're not going through all of that today. But Intoxicating Elixir, if there's Liness, as we saw with Lord Disco, the bearer has a 5-up Feel No Pain, and each time the bearer shoots or fights, if the bearer's unit made a Dark Pact this phase and did not fail the resulting leadership test, after the bearer has resolved those attacks, select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of those attacks. That enemy unit must take a Battle Shock test. The test is whatever, but still nice to have. We're looking at the 5-up Feel No Pain, Lord Disco. For the stratagems, the main one that concerns me is all of those things being marked Nurgle. If you're unaware with what happens over here in Pack Pound Zealots, you have Festering Miasma. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, one Heretic Astartes unit, no restrictions on that. Until the end of the phase, your unit has stealth. In addition, if they're Nurgle, it can only be selected as the target of a ranged attack if the attacking model is within 18 inches. Yeah, that causes some issues. And just thinking about the Zinch Obliterators, let's look at Skin Shift. Your command phase, one Heretic Astartes unit from your army. One model in your unit regains up to 3 lost wounds. In addition, if your unit is a Zinch unit below its starting strength, one destroyed model is returned to your unit with its full wounds remaining. So, that's just some more shit you can do. Profane Zeal, if you're undivided, you can reroll the wound rolls. Didn't see much Corn, but you can do Corn and make it easier for you to get a fight on death. That's cool. Torpify and Refrain, looking to the Lord Disco, that was Slanesh. Heretic Astartes unit, until the end of your turn, you are able to declare charge after you fall back, but if you're Slanesh, you can advance, fall back, shoot, and charge. You can do fucking everything. Eye of the Gods, fight phase just after Heretic Astartes character unit from your army that isn't Damned, Demon, or Epic Hero destroys an enemy unit. One Heretic Astartes character model in that unit until the end of the battle. +1 to move, toughness, and wounds characteristics of that character model. And add 1 to the attacks, strength, and damage characteristic of that character model's melee weapons. Pretty good stuff. So let's talk about some of the good stuff. Forge Fiends. Remember how I said I was scared of them? Well, they have 3 ectoplasm cannons. That's the loadout you're probably taking 9 out of 10 times. Blast, 36 inches, D3, hitting on 3, strength 10, AP 3, damage 3. They have Demonic Ordnance. Each time this model is selected to shoot, it can use this ability. If it does, until the end of the phase, its ranged weapons have devastating wounds and hazardous abilities. It also has Dark Pacts, 180 points. You can choose to get lethal or sustained. And while everybody's going Vindicators and Predator Destructors, this is where I would just like to humbly suggest you could go Nurgle and do the shit that you're doing with the Vindicators, i.e. going Lone Op, okay? If you go Lone Op, and also being Nurgle, you get Sustained. Whereas Nurgle, sorry. I was right. You get Sustained, crits on 5s for ranged attacks. Cool. With devastating wounds. Cool. And if you're next to the new Vastor, back at it again, you have Unholy Mechanisms. While a friendly demon vehicle, which a Forge Fiend is within 6 inches of this model, add 2 to the strength characteristic of weapons equipped by models in that unit. So now you have 3d3, hitting on 3, strength 12, AP 3, damage 3, possibly sustained, possibly dev wounds, crits on 5. Yeah, that shit might not take out a knight in one fell swoop, but it will take out most of the other things in the fucking game if I'm... okay, maybe I'm overselling it a little bit more, but it's pretty dangerous. And then trying to get within range of shooting it, if you make it Nurgle and it tries to get shot, or you try to shoot it, it gets Lone Op, and if you're past the Lone Op part, at least it gets stealth, right? Stays a little bit alive, has a 3-up save and a 5-up invuln. That's pretty decent. And there's nothing stopping you from taking a Warp Smith to heal in case you need to get some of those wounds back that you took, or just from failing hazardous. Alright, Vastor also, while we're here, should be reminded that he has indentured demon engines. While this model is within 3 inches of one or more friendly demon vehicle units, this model has Lone Op, so Vastor himself can also just become Lone Op next to Lone Op Nurgle Forge Fiends. Awesome. Also has Reorder Reality. Each time an enemy unit within 18 inches of this model targets this model, subtract 1 from the hit roll, and until the end of the phase, that enemy unit's ranged weapons have the hazardous ability. So, if you do try to get in there, guess what? Good luck trying to get Vastor off of the board. T10, 12 inches of movement, 2 up save, 4 up invuln, 14 wounds. Oh, and because Vastor would be Chaos Undivided over here, Dark Pact sustained. And we've already, I think most of us have acknowledged that it's kind of just better for vehicles to go with the sweep. So if you get that sustained, undivided, re-rolling hit rolls of 1, right? Yeah, you got 12 attacks, sustained, hitting on 2, strength 8, AP 1, damage 2, anti-vehicle 4 up, devastating wounds, re-rolling 1s. I think Vastor is going to pick up a fucking knight as long as he doesn't get hit first. Okay, maybe not that far, but he definitely will clean them up. And he's definitely taking out armatures left and right. So, Vastor, think about it. Abaddon, staple, just want to remind you all what Abaddon can do by his damn self. Has Paragon of Hatred while a friendly heretic has started unit is within 6 inches. That isn't damned. When they make an attack, they get reroll the hit roll. Pretty nice. So yeah, just re-rolling hits on strength 12, AP 3, damage 3, Forge Fiend, crits on 5, sustained, and can't be targeted outside of 18 inches. Forge Fiends. Yep, sounds pretty nice. And you can make it better with the Hellbrute inclusion that we've seen time and time again. While a friendly heretic has started his unit, thanks to Dark Ascension, while a friendly heretic has started his unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time that unit makes a Dark Pact. Until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models in that unit gain both abilities conferred by that pact. So, sustained lethal, re-rolling the hit, crits on 5s, AP 3, damage 3, strength 12. Forge Fiends look pretty fucking nasty, and mind you, I'm saying all of this with the exception of the thing that I was scared of, Chaos Knights being cheaper. Just the Knight profile being cheaper. So while you don't have a Canis Rex, it doesn't hurt to throw in maybe Atropos, Acheron, whatever the fuck, just for the stat block in there, just to have that. And I guess if you really want, instead of not instead of, but maybe instead of Forge Fiends, you go with Khorne Lord of Skulls, T13. 450 points. Can't make him, Nurgle. Last I checked. Yeah, can't make him Nurgle. That'd be pretty fucking weird. But, and some insane attacks here. That's something you could do. I don't recommend it. I think you're better off with 2 or 3 Forge Fiends for the price. But yeah, it's looking pretty insane out of the possibilities. And you're still playing CSM, so you have access to little shitters like Chaos Spawn, Raptors, just objective doing bullshit, Chaos Bikers as we saw. And because you can still bring a Chaos Demon that you pick for the thing, as we saw, Rodigus is a popular include, but I'm just saying, once again, there's nothing stopping you from bringing Bloodletters and Scarbrand to advance and charge in your opponent's face. And just start cleaning up anything that they thought might clean up your Forge Fiends. Or your Knight. Just saying. And because you need to bring Battle Line to ally in one of the big ones, guess what? Or any non-Battle Line, I guess is more accurate. Guess what? It sounds like you have even more little shitters to do objectives, because they all have Deep Strike. You could take Nurglings probably on top of that. Looking at the points, I'd just mock-up list of bullshit. Had Bloodletters, a Knight Ruinator, because it's the most expensive one, and I just wanted to see something. Nurgling, Scarbrand, Hellbrew, 2 Forge Fiends, Chosen, Vastor, Cypher, and Abaddon for 1,995 points. Yeah, just something you can do. So while everybody is looking at the other way, I think we're just going to have to be happy that Chaos Knights haven't released in full yet. Before it gets a little bit stupider. And again, the Ruinator isn't even the top pick. I just did it because there was 350 to see what the fuck was possible. So 5 points remaining on just an utter bullshit list to see what the fuck you can do. So yeah, CSM might have won. Might have won a little bit, and we're just going to have to deal with it. All of us together, except for other CSM players, I guess. So yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.